They think like us. They know where we are.
You're scaring the kids.
Too late.
This is good. I'm glad I'm doing this with y'all.
Yeah, I'm getting creeped out though.
Yeah.
Welcome to this ability clinic where they look exactly like us. They think like us.
All right, well, the shit gets even more creepy. Like, we're about to meet the doppelganger family.
There's a family in our driveway.
There's not a family in our driveway.
4 figures in red jumpsuits stand outside holding hands, their faces obscured.
Huh. Who is that? It's a family. Y'all scared of a family?
Of Boogeyman's family.
Okay, all right. Enough of that. Hey.
Holding Jason, Addie backs up.
What? Zora, give me your phone. I'm not on. Zora!
Zora obeys.
Probably the neighbors.
Hello, my name is Adelaide Wilson.
Are you seriously calling 911 right now?
Yes.
You know what?
What?
I'm gonna fix this.
No, no.
Find out
What?
who they are.
No, they haven't, but I
Find
know
out
they
what they
will.
want, and everything's gonna be fine. How about we all just try to keep calm?
Gabe,
Keep our heads, and everything's gonna be all right.
Gabe gestures for Addie to wait, then goes outside.
Like, okay, boo, I'm gonna fix it.
Addie stares wide-eyed.
I'm gonna have a vacation and my whole family lost their goddamn minds.
Gabe furrows his brow at the trespassers.
Can I help you?
They stand silhouetted against a streetlight with their hands joined. Gabe steps closer.
If y'all are out here trying to scare people, I think you picked the wrong house for that.
Addie stands with the kids.
Put your shoes on.
Zora rushes away. Outside,
I asked you nice. Now I need y'all to get off my property.
he waves dismissively at the family, but they remain completely still. Wearing a disturbed look, Gabe wags his finger at them and backs towards the house. He glances over his shoulder at the trespassers as he approaches the front door. Staring at them, he opens it and goes inside. Gabe peers through a window, then faces his family.
Okay, let's call the cops.
I did. They're 14 minutes away.
What? 14 minutes?
Jason, give me the bat.
What bat?
The baseball bat. The bat. There's one in the corner.
Here.
Thank you.
Gabe,
All right, hold on. I got this. Let's try this again.
Gabe.
No. No. All right.
He opens the door.
I got this.
Carrying the metal bat, Gabe goes outside.
Now, I thought I already done told y'all to get off my property. So if y'all want to get crazy, we can get crazy. Now the cops are already on their way.
The woman moves her arms, and the 2 kids scatter.
Hey!
The tall, burly man strides toward the house. Gabe goes inside. Holding the bat ready, he backs away from the door. Addie and the kids tremble.
I love how it's like funny, but also scary.
I love this part of the movie. Just that imagery of the family in shadow. You can't see them, but you see the 4 people and the way they shape. It reminds me of what I think the little emojis look like when they show the family. You know, in your iPhone or whatever, or a family, you know, a mother or dad, 2 kids or something like that. I don't think they're holding hands, but I feel like that's the way it looks. It's so scary. Like, and it's just so simple. They're just standing there. Like, you just don't move. You don't have to do anything. And certain things like that, they're so out of place, can be so scary.
Addie and Jason's reaction, like they are already scared. Like they understand the gravity of the situation.
Yeah.
Whereas Gabe and Zora are like, whatever, yeah, here's my phone. Like, don't call the cops.
Yeah,
and then it takes them a little bit longer to be like, oh, wait, this is not quite right. It's not just the neighbors.
I was like, why is there bro out there with just a bat? Like, it's 4 other people. And if I were hollering, I would holler from the inside, and because it's just so funny. The reason why I was laughing is because I was like, at first he was calm, presentable, he had authority, but then on that second one, he was like, the hood came out. He was like, all right, I done told y'all, like, you know.
See, the younger me, the me back in
would
the
have been
day,
him.
No, it wouldn't have been him because he stayed at the door. I would have rolled up on him. I would've rolled up on you. Yeah. And
But
I would
all
probably
four
get-
people though.
Realistic. Like I think people, you know, defending their home, they don't see a family of 4 as a threat. Like I think that's a realistic. Like, oh, let me just scare these people away.
Like, what y'all doing?
No.
I just say, hey, what's up? I just come out the door. Hey, I still start walking to you. But today, yeah, that scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, like I would be scared. Like I understand what you're saying for the first time, but after he said so, they still wouldn't move. So in my mind, I would be like, these fools are a little crazy. So I need to go back in the house and you know.
Yeah, but he did. You notice his reaction when he says, "Call the cops," and he said, "14 minutes." Like, what do you mean? Like, he wanted the cops there now. Like, you know.
Maybe I'm just trying to see something that they are going too far. But I noticed even with the affluent and them on vacation, like it's still gonna take the cops 14 minutes to get to a black house, you know.
We find out why later on. I mean, this is
yeah.
this is happening.
Right, they're busy.
You're still giving me a ticket?
Is it a ticket? Or is it a 2-for-1 coupon for my show at the Magic House Thursday night at 11 p.m.? Your call.
I'll take the ticket.
I feel like Jordan Peele did a good job unpacking that tension between, you know, racial minorities and the police in Get Out. And he didn't have to like highlight that again.
No.
But that's what I was saying. I hope I wasn't reaching. Not that I'm trying to reach, but I'm just like 14 minutes, you know.
Reach. I think that's the purpose of this, is to reach.
Okay.
That's a great like one word theme, like reaching, always not being satisfied. It's like, okay, you wanted a boat, you wanted plastic surgery, you want to be an actress. Now you want to get help immediately. It's this like instant gratification culture. And it's like, no, you know, some people don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's jump to Red, who is sort of the quote unquote tethered underground Adelaide, and her family kind of sitting the Wilsons down.
The masked intruder rubs his face against her knee. Gabe's double glares at the family, while Zora's wears a sinister grin.
What? It's us.
Jason locks eyes with his masked counterpart. Addie's double strokes the boy's head. Addie glances between the intruders.
We don't have anything.
Once
Addie's double speaks.
upon a time, there was a girl, and the girl had a shadow. The two were connected, tethered together. When the girl ate, her food was given to her warm and tasty. But when the shadow was hungry, she had to eat rabbit, raw and bloody. On Christmas, the girl received wonderful toys, but the shadow's toys were so sharp and cold, they'd slice through her fingers when she tried to play with them. The girl met a handsome prince and fell in love.
What did you think of her voice? I mean, that's like a good discussion point. Like, she's kind of hard to understand.
When I was watching the movie the first time, I had a really hard time understanding that dialogue. You know, they look the same, they're doppelgangers, but why is her voice different? And are the other doppelgangers the same? Although they didn't really allude to that because the other ones, they don't talk.
That's the thing. She's the only one speaking. That's as far as I can tell. The other ones just grunt. So that to me was the clue, right? And she's talking, and the difference in the way she lived. Number one, she's probably around people who don't talk. Probably her voice has been suppressed. The way she lives has probably affected her voice.
Yes.
And you know, I guess we don't have to get into the whole thing about how she incorporated the voice of what is Robert Kennedy Jr. I think it was, right?
Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah. He's the one running for president too, right?
When I was 42 years old, I got struck with a disease, a neurological disease, an injury called spasmodic dystonia, and it makes my voice tremble.
I think it's a really interesting choice. I mean, I know her choice as an actress was controversial to use an example of spasmodic dysphonia to create this creepy, hard to distinguish speech. But the thinking behind it, I don't think is flawed. It's like, okay, as a child, she was choked, she was strangled and suppressed
Yeah.
her tether, so she has vocal cord damage. Like,
Yeah.
okay, that makes sense. But
Yeah.
it's still that element of like, okay, the disabled monster, the creepy villain, they have to have some sort of difference, and it's a communication difference too. Like she
Yeah.
looks the same, but she sounds different.
Do you think the red is significant? Do you think is that a political thing? The idea that these folks are the red?
Of course it is. It's
Okay.
a Jordan Peele film.
Okay, because I thought they said he didn't. So I think when my daughter and I was talking about this like years ago, she was saying that she read. He said it was not about that. Of course, he would say that, but you know,
Oh, he said it wasn't about politics, you mean?
politics. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I think I
Who
recall
would
that.
say that?
Yes, it is. Like he has to say that.
I think the brilliance
It's
of it
totally
is
about
it's
politics.
very valid, but I think his original intention was for people to interpret it however they wanted to.
Well, because that makes me interpret the title not as us, but also as U.S. Right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Totally.
And visually, yes, they're all wearing red jumpsuits, and that kind of distinguishes them as, oh, they're the underground people. And Lupita Nyong'o, or Addie's character, she's wearing white throughout the film. And throughout the course of the film, especially towards the brutal finale in the fight, she's covered in blood and her white clothing is stained with red. And so it kind of, the red is sort of a revealing color, and it's literally blood on her hands.
I think I remember a line where Adelaide was like, "What are you people?" Like, you know, it's just the you people thing.
Do you remember what she says when she's like, "What are you people?"
No, what is she?
She said we are Americans.
We're Americans.
She doesn't say we're tunnel people. She doesn't
Yeah.
say we're the
We're Americans.
marginalized.
These tunnel people were suppressed. They were experimented on. I just took that as like all the marginalized people that like we feel like white streaming culture doesn't want us, but we are American.
We need to like fast forward through some of this awesome film, but there's just some great scenes of like violence and
First of all, that statement, great scenes of violence. I love that. Can you clip that and send it to me?
Straining, Gabe bangs his own head on the motor. The motor starts, and the propeller slices into Abraham. Blood sprays onto Gabe. The cartwheeling double emerges and wields her scissors. Zora hits her with a golf club, and the double falls off the balcony.
Great scenes
oh,
of violence.
And that's the thing. It's like he's telling a story visually and auditorially, juxtaposing horrific, scary violence with humor and playfulness almost. Oh, so good.
I find it funny that like she was, I forgot what she alluded to as the Alexa, because they probably couldn't say Alexa.
Oh, Ophelia.
Ophelia, yeah, Ophelia.
Ophelia. I thought it was so funny when she was like,
Ophelia, call the police.
Sure. Playing Fuck the Police by NWA.
And then she just gets killed.
Yeah, like
her technology, her belongings did not help her at all.
That was so funny. The sound of the film, the gurgling when they were choking on their own blood and all of that, and the blood coming out, like you hear that.
Zora jabs her in the neck, then whacks her face. The double falls into the bathroom. Zora swings the club downward repeatedly. Blood splatters.
Like I was just like, whoa, like this is really good. Like
it's brutal, right?
Yeah.
You can feel the blood splattering.
Yeah.
And like every hit, every blow with like blunt objects. Yeah, the sound design.
Yeah.
Jason knocks out Kitty's double with a decorative geode.
So I don't know if this is just me. I'll just say this real quick. The fact that they're in this big house, this white family, I don't know if they chose that name for some reason, but the way when she said Ophelia and they would say like, Ophelia, do this, Ophelia, do that, it felt like a white family from the South back in the day with a domestic. That was where I went.
You is smart. You is kind. You is important.
Yeah, it's that whole commentary on privilege and people kind of expecting their belongings, their material possessions to serve them.
Josh's double drops into the doorway and brandishes his scissors. Sitting inside, Gabe aims a flare gun. The flare hits the wall and falls to the floor. Josh's double looks down at it.
And that totally goes into like slavery and dehumanizing people to serve other people. Ooh. So deep.
Fuck
I
the
love that.
police was good.
Yeah.
Oh, there's like a part where the news is like there's terror on the news, and the news is finally like broadcasting what is happening.
It's not clear at this time if or how these people are connected to the attacks.
What is that?
They're forming what looks
It's
like
them.
a human chain.
What are they doing?
I don't know, but that would take a shitload of
A
coordination.
man in red approaches the person recording video.
Obviously, if you have children present watching us right now, you should turn them away. You're not sure what is about to happen.
The man attacks. Addie mutes the TV.
It's like horror on another level. Like he's not just trying to scare you. It's like true entertainment.
Yeah, like that was unsettling to me. You know.
You know what part that when they were doing that though, I was thinking about how they were giving out like not false, but they didn't have complete information. And I was like, wow, they didn't factor in social media at this point. And you know, like Twitter, when this was made, like Twitter would have been all over this, right?
Right.
Yeah, they didn't touch on that at all. So I was surprised about that because that wouldn't really be the case.
We found another little weak point.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause this movie is not that old, right? Twitter was
Twitter was popular in
X.
2019. Yeah,
This was
No,
like
don't call
1
it
year
X.
pre-COVID. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just gonna call it Twitter. I don't know about calling it X. X is, you know, you're supposed to call it X, but I still call it Twitter.
Yeah, nobody wants to acknowledge the changes.
I can say definitively here that is not what this movie is about.
If you want to support us and the channel even more, check out our Patreon page where you can contribute any amount towards producing more content like this. Check the link in the description.
Now I know you enjoyed this, so do yourself a favor, go ahead, subscribe to this channel, like this video and every other video if you have knowledge in your brain. Let's go.
Police.